Drake, what was it like having Antoine back specifically? Because we haven't seen him all year. Caught 2 big touchdown passes for you.
Oh yeah, AG, he's a great player. He's made plays here, for years now, and obviously he had some, towards the end of last season, he made some big plays. So, not just deep ball threat. He's a good route runner, and there's a lot of experience comes with, just making plays. So, he's looked good in practice, and I'm honestly just surprised that he got back from his injury so fast. Just shows his love, for the game and his work ethic. So. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a little something different that he brings to the deep routes that makes him such a threat there? It's a little bit different speed, a little bit different something?
Yeah, I think the one thing is, he's about 6'2" or 3. So I think, a lot of guys just, kind of defensive backs just may kind of sleep on his speed. But he's so smooth. Him and Gavo and it's, deep ball guys are just so smooth. I think they kind of, deceptively fast, but, AG is fast in general. So, I think he knows, how sets up defenders and, win deep, but also, when you give him the ball, he can make some guys miss, and, he's just good with the ball, so he's a good football player.
Now that you're 4 games in, is there anything you look back at from last year's experience, just kind of learning in the shadows, so to speak, that you have applied now? Like, is there any one thing you feel like last year prepared you for, as a full-time starter now?
I think the main thing last year that kind of helped me from Sam was just moving on to the next game. I think Sam did a nice job of kind of after Sunday we watched the film. He just get back into the next opponent, and I think that's the main thing we got to do. Don't let one game be us twice. Coach Brown always says that. So put Notre Dame in the past, and let's look forward to ACC play and Virginia Tech. That's the main focus.
Max said.
Just to follow up on that, thank you. Follow up what you told CL, is that something you just watch Sam do? Like you're talking about moving on to the next game. I mean, he was getting sacked all over the place and stuff like that. Did you just watch him do that, or did y'all talk about this? Like, did he say, look, when it's your turn, you got to be able to put it in the pass quickly? I mean, were those conversations y'all had? Just stuff you observed?
I think it was kind of more observed. We mainly our conversations are just about the other team and other things going on in the ACC. So kind of that personal stuff about just leaving the past, just kind of stuff that I observed, and I thought he did a nice job with it. A lot of things from Sam, but I think that's one of the main things he does well. He puts in the past, whether it's the last drive or play. I think sometimes I hang myself on bad plays or negative plays, and I kind of need to put that in the past and just get on the next play or the next game. So.
Max said yesterday that the ball security with quarterbacks can be a little tricky because you guys don't get hit in practice or anything like that. You have 2 fumbles this year, so is there something that you do at this point in the season maybe to help with ball security, or is that just something that you just kind of deal with as you get into games?
No, I think I just need better be better in practice. Starts with practice. You practice how you play, just keeping 2 hands on the ball in the pocket. I think I've gotten a little carried away with kind of holding in one hand, and obviously that play was a huge play. Changed the game. Up front, they could have squeezed in the linebacker blitz because they ended up peeling on the run back, which is kind of the hot throw. But just emphasizing it. Coach Long was emphasizing it, and it's just hurting the team. So I got to be better and keep 2 hands on the ball. And I think it's something that's always in the back of your mind when you're going through practice now. That's kind of as it's becoming a little bit of an issue. So just kind of hanging in on that and just trying to keep that in the back of my mind.
Now piggybacking off of what Adam said, did you and Sam ever have any conversation? Like, did he ever talk to you when it's your turn? Did y'all ever have any kind of when it's your time to step up in this role, you should do X, Y, Z?
I wouldn't say a lot of conversations went like that. Obviously because him and Jacoby had a good relationship too. It's just got that competition factor. But he always said, when you get your shot, just make the most of it. So I think that's kind of the main message, just kind of sending me. And we've in practice, we're both competitors. So all 3 of us, trying to last year, to see who threw the best in routes on air and completed the most passes 7-on-7. So just kind of more of when you get your shot, just kind of make the most of it, not as much when it's your turn.
As a competitor last year, did you think I could challenge Sam for this role? Do you go into that thing, or were you just this is his team?
No, as a true freshman, Sam, he was a real deal, last year in practice and in games. So, you know, I mean, I'm always going to think, you know, I'm going to take myself all the time, but we argue that sometimes. But, no, I mean, I was just trying to get better and kind of get in the system and stuff like that, so I wasn't really thinking much about that.
Coach Longo talked to us yesterday about going for it on fourth down and how Coach Brown will even tell him after first down that it's this is an opportunity where it might be a 4-down territory and that he has 3 more plays. I was wondering if you had a conversation with Longo about that and like the mentality of him being aggressive in situations. Obviously, as you went forward on fourth down, the first touchdown against Notre Dame, things like that. Like I don't know if that, in terms of play calling, how that affects you when you have an extra down.
No, yeah, I think that's huge. You know, I was, you know, playing Madden growing up, you never punted, so you're always going on fourth down. But, you know, fourth down, you know, especially in third and long scenarios, I think it's something, you know, in the back of my mind where I can say, you know, just get half of it, or, you know, if it's 3rd and 8, just get 6, you know, it gives us an opportunity to go for it. And sometimes I think, you know, one play against Notre Dame was like a 3rd and maybe at least 3rd and 10, and I ended up running a draw too fast, and I had Bryson on like a hitch. He could have got 7 or 8, and Maye went for it, you know, early in, I think that was the first quarter. So just stuff like that, just need to be conscious of it, because, you know, I think, you know, going fourth down is a huge advantage. And, you know, I think against Georgia State, ended up going on the first drive, ended up going for it, and Notre Dame, so, you know, he's not scared to, and you know, I think it's ended up working out for us pretty well.
Do you know, or are you developing a mindset to understand the tendencies of Mac and Coach Long about when they're going to go for it?
Mm-hmm. I think, you know, anytime we get, you know, outside of our own 40, especially when we get across 50, you know, they're more likely to go for it on 4th and short. So just keeping that back in my mind, and, you know, just taking what the defense gives us, not trying necessarily to get it all back in one down. So I think, you know, that's a huge advantage.
Rick, but Mac and Phil were telling us yesterday that they'd like to shorten the running back rotation. You know, maybe lean more on 2 guys, less than you have with the 4 guys. Like, how do you see that playing out now? You know, Phil was saying we'd like to get one guy a ladder going, I think was what his quote. You know, like I think he was quoting Natron when he said that. But like, just how do you see that playing out, and how do you see possibly using less guys there helping the offense maybe with the running game?
Oh, no doubt. I think, you know, we got 4 special backs in there. You know, they all do their own thing well. So I think just finding practice. I think the main thing on Saturdays, they kind of, you know, had some issues vision-wise. They may have missed some you know, some gaps where they could have hit their hole. But at the same time, you know, it's a fast game. You know, Notre Dame's coming downhill. They're coming physical, and so they're put in a tough spot. But then you got to be able to run the ball to win football games. So I think, you know, shortening it down will end up, you know, helping the rhythm of the offense, and just kind of he'll get a feel for it. He'll probably be more comfortable. You know, those 2 main guys, instead of, you know, getting in there and be like, oh, I got to make a play or get taken out. So that's the main thing. But, you know, all 4 of them, you know, they do their own thing well, like I said, and they can help us win football games like I think they all have already. So
One of the things Sam said when he was here is that he got to a point, I think maybe it was the end of his freshman year or early in the sophomore year, where he could sort of self-scout himself during the game, where he makes a throw and he realized, you know what, my foot was the wrong way or my hip was the wrong way. Are you at a point yet where you sort of sense that on certain throws or certain plays?
I think, you know, just throwing the football as much, you know, as quarterbacks do in their life, they can kind of, you know, negotiate what's going on. I think, you know, a lot of stuff on Saturday, just my footwork, kind of rushing some things. I think some of the 2-point plays, you know, the emphasis was put them high, and I think I missed Bryson put one, you know, kind of in his midsection, and it could have been PI. But just kind of focusing on the little things, and you know, that one where Bryson was in the flat, you know, I rushed my feet. So, you know, they tell me, you know, Coach Long does a good job of kind of seeing what I do wrong on throws I wish I had back. So,
are you knowing that yourself, though, a lot of the time? Like on the throw to Bryson, did you know, oh, you know what, my feet were wrong there?
Oh, 100%. You know, I felt like I was leaning back, and just got to be more conscious of it and just kind of slow down, you know, because that throw is, you know, as you throw, I can make that, you know, usually, you know, at least 9 times out of 10. So just, like I said, be more self-aware, and I think it's a good point, kind of looking back, but at the same time, you know, I kind of look back too much at bad plays, so just kind of focus on the next drive and get the team going.
Drake, you got 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. How did you envision like this start going? Are you maybe ahead of where you even thought you could be?
I mean, I'd say, you know, I kind of expect this of myself, you know, with confidence, but, you know, at the same time, you know, with the guys around me, I think they've done a great job of, you know, helping me look like I've been a good player. So, you know, I pride myself on, you know, taking care of the ball, so I got to get rid of those fumbles, I wish I had that interception back. But, in high school, probably my touchdown and interception ratio, I think, any quarterback does. So just continue to, try to, focus on VT and help this, program get back on track this week. So.
What have you learned about yourself and being the starting quarterback over the last 4 games? You have a little time now to reflect on a month worth of football. Is there anything you've learned about the position and yourself as a starter?
Yeah, I think just the main thing is, college football, it's tough, especially as a quarterback. Any given Saturday, you got to go out there and you got to bring it all. I think the main thing about playing quarterback is just mental. It's a mental game back there, and just preparing, and it takes a lot out of you. And not even mention the physical part, getting hit and stuff. It wears on you. So taking care of your body is a big thing. I need to do a better job of that. And just overall, at the same time, it's awesome. What else are you going to be doing playing quarterback here in North Carolina? So it's been a blessing, and just look forward to getting back out there Saturday.
Drake, like CL mentioned, I mean, the numbers we look at, for instance, 16 touchdown passes, that's tied for first in the country. CJ Stroud. These are the numbers we look at. What are the numbers you look at? What are the stats that you focus on or are concerned about or put extra emphasis on? I know you talked about your touchdown and interception ratio, but are there other stats that you really pick out and focus on?
I think that's a good point. I'd probably say, completion percentage is obviously a big one. I think y'all said, you ended up saying after the press conference on Saturday, 17-32, that's not very good. So get that up. And also I think third down, is big, just big in general in football. Third down efficiency. And I think one thing that kind of we've highlighted as an offense is being better in the red zone from last year. Not ended up taking 3. I think we've done a good job of that this year so far. Knock on wood. So just keep kind of scoring those scenarios. Probably those 3. Yes, sir. That's probably.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.